Hello, and welcome to Everyday Woman, the show that was created for women, by women, and the issues that are important to us. San Francisco wanting to ban circumcision.
They've got enough, they actually have enough signatures.
You see, I just kind of slid that in on you because I know you were ready. But Charlotte, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I actually can understand why they would want to do it, because I think it's more harmful than good. And I'm actually a Jewish person, but
Okay.
I would not circumcise my son if I had a son. However, because the trend is downward right now, for example, 80% of the men in this country are circumcised, but in 2009, only 32% of the babies were.
Right.
It's just dropping. I don't think you really need to have big government come in and create a law. And the doctors don't have a real opinion on whether you should or shouldn't.
Madison, you have an opinion.
No, I do, but I agree with Charlotte, and we were trying to make that decision for my son, and my husband, who was circumcised, really wished his parents hadn't made that choice for him, because there are a lot of other things that go with it, like the sensitivity, the kind of oils and things that are lubricated from that. And when you circumcise a boy, a young infant, the pain is so excruciating they actually pass out.
Really?
And when my husband told me that, I said, you know.
But is it the government?
Also, like,
but
on
hold
the
on,
flip
ladies.
side, what about the culture, you know?
Right.
If you, your father, your grandfather, if all the men in your family are looking a certain way, and then you go in the restroom and it's like, you know.
But the trend is changing.
Yeah,
and there are babies. I mean, there's supposedly as many as 200 babies a year that die.
Let me ask you
from
this, though.
circumcision.
And
You guys
the
are
circumcisions
making
that go
valid
wrong.
points. You're making valid points, but is it again, let's get back to, is it the government's place to tell you what type of decision that you should make for your family?
No, I understand San Francisco's why they would want to do something like that, and I normally like their point of view in a lot of political things.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in this, I think that they need to take a step back.
But I
And
think
also, San
disclosure is
Francisco,
important.
that's a city, and what are they? Are they like, you know, a country or something? Like, how is it one? Well, not. I'm sorry, it's not a city; it's a state. But still, it's
San
like, are they?
Francisco is in the state of California.
Right, yeah, right, yes, it is, right, yes.
Okay,
It's a county and a
right.
city.
But the thing that I'm trying to say is, it's not like the whole country. So if you leave San Francisco and you go
you'll
to a
still be able
neighboring
to do
place,
it.
Right,
you
you-
can still do
well,
whatever
right,
it
so
is that
Trying
you want
to
to
be a
do.
trendsetter.
So you'll be having mothers going
Right.
across state lines
Exactly,
to be able
do
to have babies.
over city lines.
Right, over city lines.
It's like a
San Francisco is a city, ladies.
But what I think is important is the disclosure. And according to the American Medical Association, they did a study and they found out only 50% of doctors discuss the pros and cons of circumcision with the parents
That's true.
prior to the procedure.
I had a son,
and they need to
they
be
did
having
not discuss
Right.
it with me
They
at
would
all.
need
It was
to
just
have that
either do you want to or
Do
do
you
you
want
not.
to? You want
Yeah.
to? They didn't talk about
Yeah,
the risk or
that's-
anything of that. And I heard my child screaming in there, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, no! You're right. There needs to be more education regarding that."
Absolutely.
And I think
absolutely.
a lot of times the decision is made for financial reasons too. I think because they charge for circumcision, so I think a lot of parents sometimes don't do it because they don't want to pay to get it done.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't.
I've never
Yeah, that
heard
was not something that came on the table when we
that's
were
something
discussing
I mean,
that,
I think it's a point to
heard
consider,
that,
but-
you know, I think like with insurance covering it and not covering it and things like that, that sometimes is an issue for parents as well when they're deciding whether or not to circumcise.
Well, ladies, I think that we could talk about the debate whether we should circumcise or not circumcise, but more importantly, it's good that we're talking. Thank you for joining us at everydaywoman.com. We'd like to encourage you to please continue the dialogue. Join us again, and you know the question, are you an everyday woman? Good night.